So what did you do this weekend?
What did I do on the weekend? I don't know. I don't have any memory of what I did on the weekend. Somebody help me, please.
Well, I spent my weekend getting the most difficult platinum on PlayStation. This was so difficult, in fact, that it took me a whopping hour and a half.
Hello, I'm Peppa Pig. Would you like to be my friend?
Now keep in mind, this game cost me $50. I could have bought The Last of Us Part 2 with that $50. But since I spent all that money, I had to play it and get all of the insanely difficult 12 trophies that came with it. After spending a grueling 3 minutes in the character creation screen, our unnamed silent protagonists made their debut into, where does Peppa Pig? Peppa Town. Not even 2 steps in the town, the Miss Rabbit.
Miss Rabbit has fainted. Miss Rabbit has fainted again.
Without us even speaking a word, she tells us how to get to Peppa's house.
Are you going to see Peppa? She's just up the hill. Keep walking and you'll be there in a minute. Bye now.
Do you think she just automatically assumes that everyone's gonna go see Peppa? Because that's probably not good. After getting to Peppa's house and getting an insane tour of the 3 rooms I could go into, we got an invitation to go to some random kid pirate-themed birthday party. And somehow, George was already there even though he was just in the house with us a minute ago, which is the biggest plot hole this game has. I swear. The birthday boy, a kid named Danny Dog, gave us both pirate costumes and we went inside his house. Some old man tells us that we need to find 4 different hidden treasures and gives us their exact locations. So I got all of the treasure as quickly as I could with absolutely no help from anyone else. And once I got it all, the adults decided that the treasure was for everybody and not just, the main character, the one who collected all of it. And then this lady came with yet another chest and a key and pulled out a birthday cake with lit candles. But after eating the cake, everyone had a seizure and then the credits rolled. Wait a second, that was way too short and I didn't even get a trophy?
Eventually.
Oh, I see. I played the pirate DLC before the actual game? Man, that DLC sucked. Alright, so now that we're back at Peppa's house, we walked all the way to her grandparents' house because I wanted to see the bird.
Polly Parrot imitates everything you do. Why don't you try jumping or making a sound?
Isn't that so cool? Then a chicken barged into their house. So now I have to get all of Granny Pig's chickens back to the chicken coop. And by doing so, I got my first trophy. Then Peppa's grandparents take me to the beach against my will and teach me about rock pools. So I pulled out a coin, a crab, and a shell out of the rock pool right in front of me, and I got my second trophy. Then me and Peppa go to the forest, pick up litter, and follow this trail of footprints that could have been left by any animal, mind you. And once she could finally hear properly, we found ducks. And I got my third trophy just for finding those ducks. And then suddenly, Peppa's entire class from school shows up, and then there's magically a camping site set up. The teacher makes only me and Peppa go out and get her some sticks for the fire, but at least this time Peppa helped us. After giving the teacher a whopping 5 sticks, I got my 4th trophy. Then we had to put up the ugliest tent, and the teacher and all of the kids, including Peppa and our silent protagonist, sang, well, this.
Bong, bing, boo. Bing, bong, bing. Bing, bong, bingly, bongly, boo.
Peppa's parents and George also decide to come to the forest and have a picnic. And Daddy Pig forgot their food in the car. So being the hero that I am, I had to walk all the way to their car and back to bring them lemonade, cheese, and baguettes. don't know what kind of picnic this is, man. While we were eating, the ducks came back and Daddy Pig had to give them the rest of his sandwich. Then Peppa's parents ditched us again. After about 9 years worth of walking, Peppa and I found Miss Rabbit again with a hot air balloon, and she took us on the world's lamest hot air balloon ride to Snowy Mountain. Here, Peppa and I had the best time. We built a snowman. And then he left. One trophy richer. Once we got back to Peppa's house, her parents had the bright idea to take us to some place called Windy Castle. Probably wondering, what's so special about this castle, Cassie? I'll tell you. Nothing. She climbed to the top of the tower and got to spy on everyone in town, and that was it. But with my 6th trophy earned, we went back to Peppa's house to tune into a new episode of Mr. Potato. And suddenly, George comes out and interrupts us, crying about his dinosaur being stuck in a tree. Since I had so much respect for George, as he's the realest person in Peppa Town, I decided to help him. But because me and Peppa are only like 3 feet tall, we had to get Daddy Pig to get him down. And that got me trophy number 7. But when we went back inside to watch Mr. Potato, Daddy Pig had lost his glasses. So with me and Peppa being the absolute saints that we are, we had to help him too. We walked into the kitchen and walked into the other room, and there they were. And then I stepped on them and gave them back to Daddy Pig. And that grueling task got me my 8th trophy that I totally didn't already have from the first time I tried to record this. Even though it was already like 2 p.m. and most likely the weekend, Peppa and I had to go to school for some reason. And it was probably the most fun I've ever had in an educational environment. I got to move blocks, and then I got to move them again, and again. And when I went to the playground, apparently Tiddles the tortoise was stuck in the tree. So we ran to the teacher and she got the tortoise down, and everyone had yet another seizure. That's alright, because we got trophy number 9. Then we took the bus to the museum, where Peppa's parents also just happened to be. But once we got to the royalty part of the museum, Peppa started daydreaming about me and her being married and ruling over everyone. In the next room, there was a dinosaur exhibit, and George imagined himself as a dinosaur, which was quite interesting. Eventually, we came to a roller coaster to the moon, and my 10th trophy upped, but it wasn't even the real moon. As soon as I realized that, I ran out the exit and went straight back to Peppa's house. Back in Peppa's room, not even 5 minutes after we got there, her parents decided that they were finally going to take us to Potato City, which is where Peppa wanted to go the entire game. As soon as we got there, my 11th trophy popped, and so did the platinum right after. And with all 12 trophies completed, I decided to check out Potato City and see what all the hype was about. Yeah, it kinda sucked.